Hey, it's Luke Narwhal. Hope you're having an okay day and hope you have a great weekend. Today's going to be a bit quicker of a video. We're just going to talk about soups. Wanted to get this video out there in case anyone needed some kind of motivation today or just wanted some familiarity. Here's a video about soups. Let's get into it. I feel like soup is so underrated for weight loss. Obviously, I'm not talking about soups full of cream, and of course anything will make you gain weight if you eat in excess of calories, but I just find it a really easy and satisfying way of getting less calories. Some kind of broth with veggies, potatoes, and some kind of lean protein. I love tofu or lentils in soup personally. A lot of the time I'll have around 400 to 500 of these of soup and feel super satisfied and full. This is pretty low calorie main meal for me as my total daily energy expenditure is around 2200. It's really easy to make in big batches too, so it's great for meal prep. Just wanted to share my newfound enthusiasm for soup. And if you prefer a creamier soup, just separate half and puree it, then mix it back in. Nice and creamy with good texture for the unblended half, and no extra calories. Soft tofu is also good for making creamy soups. It's a source of protein and low in calories. I made creamy mushroom soup with it last winter, and it was amazing. We use potato. A soup with cubed potatoes, take a bit out and mash it down and mix it back in. I'm lactose intolerant and I never really liked the idea of cream in soup, but my husband makes a corn chowder that's just corn, potato, and leftover ham, and it's delicious. Every fall when we have harvest from the garden, we spend a long weekend making, canning, and freezing soups for the rest of the year. So delicious, healthy, and so much variety. When we don't know what to do for dinner, there's always some great soup available to us. I had a hard time incorporating veggies into my diet until I realized I just don't love salads, but I do love soups. I usually start my dinner with soup. You chop a bunch of vegetables, carrots, tomatoes, cabbage, cauliflower, onions, spinach, pepper, celery, whatever you have on hand, and just boil them until they're soup. Kind of like a minestrone. You might want to toss some stock there, but it's not required. It's a good way to incorporate veggies into a meal, and it's not too heavy. I have a similar recipe. Make a lot of it, eat it for a week. But I start with splitting onions and garlic in a pot. No oil or butter. Then slice or dice zucchini, summer squash, carrots, celery, and whatever firmer veg is around. Caramelize them in the pot, no liquids added yet, with salt and seasonings. Deglaze with the broth. I use chicken, but vegetable broth would work too, and add a can of fire-roasted diced tomatoes, a bit of tomato paste, and some diced new potatoes. Lower carbs, higher potassium. Cover the veggies with broth and simmer. Add a splash of balsamic vinegar and Dijon mustard. Throw in your more fragile veg, corn, spinach, etc. If you want to up the protein, you can add a can of capelli beans. Simmer some more. It's fragrant, really filling, super packed with vitamins, and about 240 calories per 14 to 15 ounces of soup. Yum. I've been on a soup kick for a while now too. I look forward to coming home, heating up my homemade soup and relaxing with it as I read, watch a comfort show. Actually, I'm counting down the hours right now until I can go home. Stressful day, stressful news, gloomy weather. It's a perfect day to relax with soup. The high water content in soup makes you feel more full and is absolutely a wonderful tool for weight loss. If you eat a broth-based soup, not creamy chowder before a meal, it helps you feel full, and most soup is high in nutrients or is easy to make that way, so you ultimately end up eating less calories and feeling satisfied, plus you meet your nutrition needs a little easier for a lower calorie cost. Anything with higher water count is a good option to consider eating before or over something else, like take grapes versus raisins for example. A half cup of grapes is only 30 calories, whereas a half cup of raisins is 250 calories. This is in part the dehydration process, upping the sugar content, but it's also because of the water and the volume. One grape is more filling than one raisin and is less calories. Potatoes are absolutely hands down the best food for weight loss in my opinion, especially if you boil them. They have such a bad rap, but they're literally the most satiating food available to us. They will literally eliminate a majority of cravings, even ones brought on by emotional triggers, and they are extremely nutrient rich with a wide variety of vitamins and minerals. I also love how versatile they are, plus all the different kinds of them, so I never get bored. It's things like butter, bacon, and cheese that are calorie dense. Potatoes are really not high in calories, and I dare you to overeat anything after having a whole potato. Good point about grapes. I feel like dried fruit can be easy to overeat because they are technically healthy, but also pretty high in calories per volume. Thinking of food in terms of calorie density has really helped me eat less calories while still feeling satisfied. Big agree on potatoes. I feel like they get a bad rap because most people eat them either fried or with lots of butter, which really ups the calories. But boiled or baked with a small amount of oil, amazing and healthy. I feel like in general people like to blame the carbs in a lot of foods that are really just high in calories from fat like butter and cheese. Soup is probably my favorite thing to eat when trying to lose weight. I lost 110 pounds, and most of what I ate during that time was soup. It's so easy to make, especially if you have a crock pot and work long hours. You can just throw it in there and have it done by the end of the day when you get home. Or it's super easy to throw a bunch of stuff in a pot when you get home from work and do other stuff around the house while it's cooking. There are also plenty of great store-bought options for soup. My favorites are Progresso light chicken and dumpling soup and Veredville Mexican and lentil soup. I also like it because typically soups are an easy go-to for something low-calorie when you're going out to eat, as long as it's not a cream-based soup. I usually pick a soup over salad when going out as they tend to be low-calorie. Salad dressing can have a lot of calories, and a lot of restaurants put things like croutons, cheese, bacon bits, etc. in their salads. Of course, you can ask them to take these out, but I prefer to keep it simple and not have to make a bunch of changes. One tip, if you like creamy soups but don't want all the calories, I like to get low-calorie sour cream, and once I serve myself a bowl, I'll plop a tablespoon of the sour cream into my bowl. It doesn't really change the flavor and gives you a creamy broth without adding a whole bunch of calories. Also, by just putting it in your bowl, you can customize the creaminess for yourself, and it doesn't make your leftovers lose heat-up value. And that brings us to the end of this one. I know this was a quick one, but just wanted to get it out there for anyone on this Friday looking for something to listen to stay on track. It's good to have encouragement, so feel free to leave a comment if you just want some encouragement or affirmation or someone to keep you in your thoughts, and I will definitely go ahead and reply and wish you all the best. Have a great weekend.